What's up, you guys? Just gonna do some of my monthly back testing. This way you guys get an idea of how things work. You know, if you've been watching my streams and watching my back testing, you already have an idea of what's going on. Took all the numbers and took all of our call outs, put them in here. We had a few from last month that I already put in here, but we're gonna update all of those. I did add this new column on the right. You guys can see over here, it says news and earnings. I'm gonna try to see if I can try and track what is moving the price. So if it's news or if it's earnings, it's gonna go in there. If it's news or earnings that moves it down or against us, I'm gonna put it in red. So for example, HIMS over here got in before earnings, but it actually moved it down afterwards. But you also see beforehand, it already was well in the green beforehand. So just ways for you to kind of start to interpret, and we can discuss it as well. You know, what's been moving these in directions. If you guys remember anything that happened with these, please go ahead, shout them out. My memory is decent, but there are certain prints that I might, you know, I'm probably going to overlook quite a few things here and there. I know, for example, and this one, for example, Alibaba, we just saw it pop after earnings. It's dropped quite a bit beforehand, but then it went higher because of earnings. So again, some of these are going to be left for interpretation as to what exactly happened. But I already did these right before I started the stream. We have SPY and Robinhood that went just a little bit higher, not much higher. So those are looking a little bit better. I've got to update this QQQ one. So we'll see $3.07 on the 17th. Take a quick look in here. Good, it's streaming. $3 on the 17th. So let's see, 3 and 2 cents. They didn't get until here. So the highs 307, 302. So no update for that one. Alibaba, let's take a look at this one. It already had a 119% return on that one. I'm expecting today after this pop, yep, after today's pop, we're seeing 1270 is the high. Volume will be fully calculated, but there was volume for today. So 1270 for today. Cool. Now that's at a 200% return, 213% return. Earnings was positive for it. Next one, STX. Man, I got out of these already with a small return, but looking at this, there definitely was more to have. 1360 yesterday. Back one day. 83% return. Now this one is counted as a win. So we'll change this to 12. Nvidia. Spot price is a little bit higher than when they got in. $6 was the strike, so this one's still down. 605. I don't think that's barely a move, but it still counts. 605. These are all sixes. 731. Let's double check that real quick. 731. 630 was the high on this one. I guess I missed that on that last update. Still not exactly a win yet. 7.69%. This one, is it the same one? Yeah, 6.630, same print. I'll do the same date. Still a wash on these guys for Nvidia. Ooh, circle, looking like it's hurting. And another quick thing too on the left side over here. These are just my quick ways to gauge where it's at. Spark line, this entire column. Ooh. This entire column just shows from the day they entered till today what what the stock's been doing. On the left side, I have it shortened so that it's from the high that I found, whether or not it's gone up or down from them. So this one very likely is unlikely that it's gone any higher than the $20.96. Yeah, these ones are down hard. Let's see, they got in. So this was the high that they saw, 36 even on that 18th, and then it came down. So this was, keep in mind this, we mark these as the highs of what we've gotten. I will try to see if I can put together, if they end up becoming losers, I'm gonna do a calculation, just count the losers as 100% losses and see what our numbers come out to. I think that'd be an interesting thing to see. But yeah, that one's a big loss right now. Snow, we just saw the big pop. They got in at a decent price, 33.22. These are now up. Sometimes if I click that too fast, it doesn't show me. Go ahead, if you guys are here listening, let me know, what are you guys in on? What positions did you guys get in on? Ugh. I don't know why it does that. Okay, let's see. So yesterday, 43.93 is the high. 43.93 yesterday. For snow. So yesterday. Okay, that's another win for this month. For snow, now we're at 13. Like I told you guys before, anytime these numbers you double check for the month of is generally going to be lower, and then over the course of time we start to see them start ticking up higher and higher. So just keep that in mind. Coin is down at this point. They got in at 428. That's pretty rough. 28. Yeah, these ones are down hard. I doubt that they've gotten higher since 2090. Yeah, those are not. ILMN. Sparkland doesn't look like it's gone higher. This one already had 160% return. Let me click off some of these. What was the high? $10.60. $10. Where did I see 10.60? There we go. So no higher on that one. I've always asked you guys too, if you know a better way to do this than me doing it completely manually this entire time, please let me know. This is the best way I've found to do this so far. So 13.44 after on the 13th. $13.44. Tiny little bit, but still considered a loss. And it looks like that volume, looks like they probably got out of that one. ASO, keep in mind we got earnings for ASO coming up next Tuesday. These ones are down right now. That's where they got in, $3.60. Here it says $3.50. The high, I think the next day we saw a high of $3.80, but that's not exactly a win just yet. So Celsius has kind of been legging up slowly. Yeah, Bijou, if you have a way to help me get these updated on, you know, automated or whatever it is. I know computer engineers have a little bit better of a way to do this, but I've been doing this for 2 years now, doing it this way. So, I mean, if you can help me evolve it, I'm always happy to. You'll notice the backtest itself has evolved quite a bit over time. I've added a lot of different things that have helped make it easier to read and easier to look at. So Celsius here, ooh, that's gonna be a nice one. 1277 as of today. Yeah, 264%. So big win. Yeah, chat with me. We'll get it done. Makes it easier. Makes it, I mean, obviously with me doing it manually, I do believe there's little bits of human error here and there. If we can eliminate that as much as possible, then, you know, it's based upon whatever code we put in. 1748 as of yesterday. So I was just saying, for some of you that just joined, a lot of times during the month of, like this was 11 out of 21, we already have 2 new winners. Oh, I should have marked them here. Snow here is a winner now. I'll mark it on this side. Snow here is a winner. And I believe STX, we also switched into a winner. So those show that those have, you know, done better. Let me double check my chart real quick. Celsius, I do believe, had an earnings, right? Was it? Yeah, earnings. So this one, now I can mark this as earnings. Earnings popped it up high. We just saw actually Celsius, PepsiCo just handed Celsius the keys to its $585 million energy empire. So we just saw some news come in today. PepsiCo's putting more money into Celsius, so that's why it's gone higher today. Etsy, looks like that one's still down. Peek over at it. 555. Nope, it's down. I want your guys' input. So for example, this one, Etsy, it's gone down since it got in. What should I mark it as? Because here for our highs, we're marking those as, you know, we're obviously looking at the highest price of what we want, what we see these at. So how would you mark it? Should I be putting the lowest that it's gone? Because eventually they're all going to go to 0 if they don't get out. Should I mark it as where we potentially see high volume where they get out? Maybe that's an option. We can see what exactly the whale potentially sold at. I think that might be a good idea. What do you guys think? How should I approach this when it comes down to, you know, what value should be going in here? Because in these situations, I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look at the spikes. I'm going to look at what the chart says. And I'm going to say, okay, if they got in, you know, if they go, oh, hold on. Etsy did have a high. $7.60 on the 13th. Yeah. So now those are considered a win, right? But if you take a look of it today, yeah, it's down to $2.10. So if you didn't take your 26% here, you're down on that position. Another thing, we got to mark that now as a win. I'm going to put this in blue to show these 3 are our new wins for this month. 14 out of 21. Did my mic go off? Got this recording on OBS too. Tell me, let me know. Can you guys all hear me? Let me know if you can. Okay. Might be your stream. Yeah, it might just be your audio. Sometimes it'll cut out, I think. Palantir. This one's back to where they got in. But you'll see here with this spark line, they had a spike. So let's go see what that spike was. I think it's come down from that spike. That's what this left graph shows me. 43.55. Yeah, it's back down to 22. 43.55, 43.55. Yeah, that's the high that we've seen. ITB, oh, it looks like we got a winner on this one. Right under 15% for the last. We were looking at 570. Now it's at 850. The high, that's on the 22nd. This hasn't updated since 850 on the 22nd. So another win. You guys see what I'm talking about here? All right, so our hit rate was around 50% from last month. It's already up to 71%. You'll see that. ANET, I think we got a little bit to go, a little bit higher, 1460. Let's see what the highs were this month. 1460, 1480. Oh, we see a 15 right there. Keep in mind, I'm looking at the high, right? So here, 15 is the high, even though it had a spike here. 811, 811, 15. PCG. PCG had an earnings that it dropped from, I believe. But then it came back. So how should I mark that? Okay, so PCG did have earnings. And then we'll say down, up. PCG $1.95. It's gone higher than that. 227. 227 on the 20th. Okay. So if you guys see, right, last month we did our STAX AI backtest. If you go look into our Discord as well, there is a STAX AI backtesting channel, and I put in there for you guys to see. Maybe I didn't copy that one, but July was 52% hit rate, 38% returns. Okay, 38% returns last month. Now we're looking at 71% hit rate, 75% total returns or average returns. We still got a couple of these that are definitely still looking like they're hurting. Coin is down, FBTC, Circle. So those big red ones, you know, this is updating as of today's spot price. HIMS is also technically down in terms of the equity. So this one's also hurting right now. But again, I would look at it this way. STAX AI is giving you a 90% return, and you didn't get yourself out of, you know, at least part of that to get yourself some profits. It coming back all the way down and past and putting you into the red, you got to reevaluate that strategy. Because if you're getting already 90% returns on those, you should have gotten something out of it. So that's last month. I'll screenshot that into the channel for us after this stream. Now here's all the new ones for this month. We have, how many? 24 new prints this month. All right, so they have been buying. So you'll see some of our months are pretty slow, right? So in the month of June, there was only 6 prints that came in. You'll look at April. I've told you guys, April we had 29 prints come in, and April was a ridiculous month. April average return was at 400% plus. Okay, there's only one miss in here, and technically, let's double check that real quick. Is this guy doing? Oh no, it expired last month, so this one's locked in. Unfortunately for our win rate, that's locked in, but that 96.5% win rate is just ridiculous to think about. I'll update this later. Today I wanted to just go through last month, get that updated, and let's start going through this month. I want to get this done as much as possible. CORZ, I believe I did update 1 or 2 of these before we started. So $1.89 for the high on the 12th. MicroStrategy, this one's down. 74.70 is where they got in. 73 here. Where did they get in? They got in. How did I get 74.70 on the 7th? That's something I've also noticed with Yahoo is I'll update it that month and it'll say 74.70 because I'm not getting that number out of thin air. 74.70, and then it updates later on and it gives me a higher or lower number sometimes. So this one says 73. I'll change that real quick. 73. Snapchat, I know these ones have been down. I'm in part of this position. It just moved back up today. You can see this big spikes where they got in. 64 and 63. Highs since that. You see a 68 here. 57 and lower and lower and lower. So I actually think if you guys haven't gone into Snap, I mean, this one has quite a bit of time. It has till next year. That might not be a bad position to consider, especially if you're getting it at a discount. You're getting it at about 30% off at this point. All right, I gotta add these in, so copy this over, change the name on there. Eli Lilly, 67.60. These are up, right? The stock itself is up 13%. Let's find the highs. So from where they got in, 79.50. 79.50 on the 27th. All right, there's a win there. Intel, I already wrote this. Intel was the news, right? The U.S. government taking 10% stake. So let's take a look as to, we'll copy this over. Oh, hold on, let me do this. Copy Eli Lilly's into there. And we got Intel. $209, the highs on the 19th, $3.80. Is that the high? Yep, looks like that. 19th, 380. Well, that's another win. JMIA, hold on, let's copy this over. JMIA. Let's just do that first. 65 cents per, now at $1.41. Highs were 2 days ago, $1.84, 27th. Let's just copy this straight up here. That's a win. NBIS. Copy that over. 1060. Do we see any higher since? 1030, 10. So 1030 on the 26th. Oh, that's a loss right now, or a miss right now. Apple. $370. Oh, what just moved? American Airlines just went a little bit higher. Was there news? No. That's my alert. All right, back to this Apple. 435. 394. That's the 18th. Was that one they got in? No, 13th. So 394 on the 18th. 3, not 4. Let's copy the misses. Okay. TTD. I like this position for TTD. I think it's headed up further. It's already up from its last, or from where they entered. I think it's got more room to go back up. 965, now at 11. That's just today. 1193. 28th. CRM. $580 was the position. Oh, these are up. 747.85 today. That's a win. Carvana. Let me double check. These are both the same. No, they're different ones. Okay. Carvana 21.85. Oh, these are up. 21.85. 32.30. Very low volume, but that still counts. 32.30. What date was that? 28th. $33.82. Okay. Let's check yesterday. 37.30. So this month's already turning out pretty good for these. Well, let me copy that over. Riot. $1.20, now at 214. High 221, 235, 239. So 239 on the 28th. Ooh, that's a nice one. 99% return. Meta, this guy's down right now. Do we see any highs? $13 entry. Ooh, these are down. Okay, so let's see. That's where they entered on the 18th, right? Yep, on the 18th. 11.59. That's the high since then. So I was asking you guys, how would you like me to calculate this? So something like this. It's gone down since they entered. The high since it is just the day after. That's common for us to see, meaning that it's looking to recover. Do you want me to put in the lows that we see? Do you want me to put in, you know, we're waiting for volume to come in. So if they purchased here, they got, let's say 5,000 contracts, was it? Meta. Yeah, 4,950. So what would you input for this type of back testing? I've just been putting the highs of what we see. Sometimes it'll come back, and what, you know, not quite back to their break even. But what would you do? Would you just put down this lowest low that you see? Would you put down the high that I do? Would you put down and look for the next volume bar, the next big volume bar, and consider that to be an entry or exit point? Let me know what you think on those ones. Reddit. 40 is their entry. These are down right now. So they got in here. 35.40 was the current high from that. Bill, yep. So Bill here with earnings. Oh, let me double check. Did Reddit have earnings that came in? Reddit earnings were at the end of last month, so no. Bill, this was a big one. The stock itself shot up like crazy. $370, now at $448. Spike yesterday at $601. Yesterday, so that's a win. EMN. That's where they got in. What was it? 22nd? Yep. 205. 195. 215. Technically it's up, but barely. And that's today. So that's a wash. AEHR. This, I think this one was a big one. This one bounced and went up like crazy. AHR up 34%. The stock itself, 580. This is 1180. This one was quick. 1180 yesterday. And as we get closer and closer to where we are today, these ones sometimes don't really move too much from where we started. So usually I would say these last couple ones you're going to want to give some, definitely give some more time. Coinbase, this one I believe is down 34.20. $30 is probably, yeah, 25th. Can't hear? Are you sure? I'm not on mute. My side of everything looks like it's doing well. I'm recording on my computer, but that's not taking too much power. Let me know if, okay. Anybody else? Is anybody else having trouble? EWZ. $0.90, 92 cents, $1.02, 28th. That's flat. Okay. SATS, I noticed in this one, STAX print came in after they popped like crazy. They went up quite a bit. Oh, hold on, let me make sure that's right. Huh, I don't find anything from that one right now. Let me check on, I'm gonna check on my Robinhood then, or let me just pull up my Webull instead. SATS for 2026, $80 strike. Let's see, the chart shows, is this up that much already? I guess it's up another 8.9%. Just got in yesterday, and the high I see here is 831. That's a quick mover right there. I like that. These really just came in today, so I don't think these are, I'll write this. I don't necessarily think these are going to have any sort of return at this point to even really look at. I'm just going to clear them out for now, just because they came in today. Okay, so let's do this. So our hit rate, let's see real quick. We have 22 prints total. Can you still hear me? Just want to make sure. 22 prints total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 of them are wins. That gives us our hit rate. I'll just do, copy this. 59%. Then we do our sum of all of these right here. Take that, divide by the total prints we have. So that's our hit rate here. 59% hit rate for this month so far. Our average is 47.31% returns. Should be text. There we go. Okay. As always, we'll come back next month and double check to see what happens. That way we can also update these ones that we see here. And as well, we just did this today too. Our hit rate went up from about 50% up to 71%. Our average return went up from about 30% up to 75% for last month's. Okay. I'm going to leave it at that for today. I will go through the rest of these on my own one by one to get you guys that update, but I wanted to, since today is the end of the month for August, wanted to make sure I get these out to you guys a little bit sooner. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate, go ahead and ask me. If you're in the Discord right now, I can answer any questions that you have. I am recording this for YouTube, so if you're on YouTube, please go ahead, let us know in the chat box, or let us know, leave us a message. Was there anything that you still have questions about? And you can always email us at help@investorcentralclub.com, and we can also discuss what's going on with it from there. There still are quite a few of these back here, but again, there's over 400 prints at this point, so I don't want to sit here and bore you guys with the rest of them. I just want to get these first this month and last month out here so that you guys can see it. And we're doing this in our Discord, in our live stream, so you guys can kind of participate too. All right. Hope you guys had a good week. I will see you guys. Remember Monday, Labor Day. There's no market open. So Tuesdays we'll get right back to it. Brand new month. Get yourselves ready. And I will say, keep an eye on these two, the Baidu and Palantir. I do think that there's still some upward movement to come with that. Same with this Coinbase. I think Coinbase has dropped quite a bit. I think there's going to be some money flowing into it into the end of the year as well. And also this one, Snapchat. Snapchat finally started to move up today. But these ones are still in the red, so might prove to be a good entry point for those of you that are willing to take that time and take a little bit of that risk. All right. I'll chat with you guys later.